What if steady growth in revenue came from growing authentic connections, not just ads?
Passion, inspiration, determination. Are you ready to jump into a better life? Welcome to our program, Jump Into It.
Welcome to Jump Into It, a podcast and live show to help you jump into it with prosperity and purpose. I'm your host, Gabrielle Hailmann, founder of Jump Into It and president of 360 Integral Marketing. Our guest today is Kay McKenzie. She is the founder of Women in Alignment, WIA, which has over 80,000 members. It is a global community designed for female entrepreneurs who want to build visibility, strengthen their marketing, grow consistent revenue through authentic connections and business development. Welcome, Kay, to Jump Into It.
Hi, Gabrielle. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm looking forward towards the conversation that we're going to be having just shortly.
Thank you. So from followers to belonging, over 80,000 strong with Women in Alignment. And can you share a bit about yourself before you founded WIA?
Yeah, certainly. I started, as an entrepreneur, we had many trial and error opportunities or phases in our life. I started with a online dropship store, and I had a full-time job. My dropshipping store, was a part-time business. And when COVID happened in 2020, like a lot of you, I had to adjust and to pivot to keep up. I was furloughed at the company that I worked for, and I decided to make my part-time business my full-time business just so I can have the freedom and control over my income and, of course, my life. So I had that online dropshipping store, and while having that business, I created a marketing agency. And with the need to find clients from a marketing agency, I ventured online and I was making connections in different Facebook groups. And then I decided to create Women in Alignment. So that's how that came about. And Women in Alignment initially was about spirituality, entrepreneurs. I was very much into the laws of attraction and just wanted to create a community of like-minded women. And Women in Alignment went from a spiritual community to a female entrepreneur community, because I also realized that a lot of women that were doing the self-work or spiritual work were also pursuing a career or just a business, to have that freedom as well. So that's how Women in Alignment came about, and a little bit about my story.
Wow, that's so much parallel to Jump Into It for myself as well. Is that, that when you break out and become an entrepreneur, it's one of the most self-fulfilling but self-inner discovery journeys you will ever have. You've built this community largely on your own with real mastery, and that is a true accomplishment, Kay. And such a short period of time, too, just post-COVID. It's very impressive. What skills or resources did you need to master to grow it to over 80,000 community?
Absolutely. One of the main skills I would say that I had to master was just simply being consistent. I promoted Women in Alignment on a daily basis, and I was very obsessive to make it successful. So I was very pursuant in growing those numbers and making sure that I was attracting the right kind of women. So just being consistent, keep going at it. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but if you're fully focused on your vision, you cannot be deterred. So.
Oh, fantastic. And that's very similar to the Spark Your Vision, where we did a complimentary workshop with your team, or your community, which was pretty amazing, in which so the exercise helped them to unveil what their purpose was and give them some courage and confidence to take the next step to fulfill that. And so the next is really wanted to talk to you about engagement and leadership. Surely you are a leader in this space, and women are listening to you, and they're listening to each other and getting value from the community. So from the first 100 to your first 10,000, what single action moved the needle most And what topic did you drop that wasn't working for you?
That wasn't tried. Um, from 100 to 10,000, actually, my first goal for the group was 10,000. So that's really significant number as well. Because my intention of getting it to 10,000 was to monetize it from there. And as mentioned, it was just the consistent actions that I took daily to make sure those numbers were growing. And of course, I even though my goal was to get to a certain number, quality was of a concern to me as well. I wanted to make sure that I was attracting the right people, people who had women, not people, women who had a similar interest and just on the same journey. And they were going to be a good fit for Women in Alignment. We had similar values, similar principles, and similar goals. So just making sure I was reaching the right communities, the right women in various communities. A really great strategy for growing your Facebook group is first you need to have a goal. You want to make sure you understand what is your goal for the community. My goal at the time when I just started was just to get it to that 10,000. So I was working towards that. And a strategy that I use is I would go into other or similar like-minded groups and just simply share the group there, connect with women. Women were coming into the group, they were loving it and they were sharing it. So I think if you have a fabulous um, product, the people that you attract, they're going to be doing the marketing for you because a lot of the women in the community were sharing the community with people in their network. So that word of mouth strategy was working really well, and I also focused on the relationship that I was having inside the community as well. I wanted to make sure that I was someone that they feel comfortable with and that they could trust, and they would feel confident to invite other people into the group. So being consistent, focusing it on relationship and also quality over quantity was a focus of mine.
Interesting. So, were there, talking about quality versus quantity to achieve those kind of numbers with that purpose in mind? Were there some non-negotiables with the community norms that you established? And, if there were, how did you enforce them, make sure that they were people respected them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you use that word respect. That was one of my non-negotiables inside the community. Women in Alignment, we are very much about women empowerment. And anything that goes against that is not going to be tolerated inside the community. We want to make sure that people feel safe in the community where they can share and where they can be vulnerable as well. So I wanted to make sure that everyone was respectful, everyone was honoring everyone else's opinion and just keeping it a safe space for everyone. I want to make sure that people are comfortable. And a story that I also share of why I don't tolerate things such as harassment and bullying and just being unkind to others is I am very much into true crime documentaries. And I saw a story about a young lady, a young girl, actually, a child who was going through something at home. And during the investigation, they were interviewing her classmates and her friends. And the way they spoke of her was in a way that you wouldn't think that anything was happening at home. And that really opened my eyes to oftentimes we don't know what people are going through. They look normal on the outside, but there are battles that they're fighting on the inside that we know nothing about. And that's why it's so important to me to be kind. If you have conflict with someone, it would be best just not to say anything or probably just excuse yourself. But anything that will make anyone feel less than or hurt or not safe just isn't tolerated inside the community. And of course, when it comes to business, if it's a questionable business, we don't allow that inside the community as well. I wouldn't want anyone to fall into anything that would harm them, even financially as well. So those were some things that I focused on.
Wow. And what I think is so incredible is that, your values are universal. They're not restricted to one geography, one culture. It's really, that respect and care for one another is something that is broadly understood, like laughter and love. Now, in your community, can you share what kind of women? So I understand the values have to be there, but as a marketer, what we call our personas or your target audience. So can you share a little bit about who these women are? Some a little more around their profile of how you would profile these women that are the ones that self-identify, yeah, I want to be part of this community.
Yeah, definitely. It's the women that who are showing up, those are the ones that I want inside the community, the ones that are proactive, they're visible, they're confident. And or if they're struggling, they're able to reach out and to ask for support. Being proactive is very important to me. I think that's how you achieve success. So you can want success, but if you're not willing to do anything to achieve it, then it's only just the dream. So those are the kind of women that I wanted to connect with inside the community. And on a deeper level, what I see a common thread amongst the women inside the community, these are women that are turning their pain into purpose. They've gone through a situation, they have experienced such pain, and they were able to overcome that. And now they're creating a business out of that, a purpose to help other women who are going through a similar journey that they have already overcome, which I think is so beautiful. There are a lot of times that women, they experience things and they become overwhelmed or defeated by it. But for the ones that say, no, I'm not going to stand for it, I'm going to do something about it. Not only am I going to help myself, but I'm going to do something that I can help other women and create a positive impact on this world. And I think we need more of that.
Wow, that's powerful. Pain to purpose. And that is so relevant, so true, so incredibly true, because unfortunately, it takes us at a certain intolerable point to want to make a change in our lives. Would be
Absolutely.
nice if it came from joy and laughter that you the change,
Right.
but it usually doesn't come from that space. Now, when I was referring to your audience, are there certain places in the world that women are more coming from? Is there a certain age group? Is there a certain occupation? Is there anything around, that you've identified that they're more of a cohort that is more popular than others? Or is it purely just this belief in coming from a point of pain to prosper, to take action, to have to do something more meaningful?
We have women from North America and other English speaking countries that are inside the community.
That's a wonderful thing about limiting bricks and mortars, that we can all come together in a platform, be able to have those connections without having to hop on a plane or have that face to face. And do you feel that these connections are pretty powerful? Or women actually building relationships, one-to-one relationships within the community when they come there?
Yes, absolutely. They are connecting. One thing I love, oftentimes I feel compelled to make the connections, but these women, as mentioned in the previous answer, that these women are very proactive. So they actually connect directly with each other. They're having one-on-one chats. They're doing collaborations. They are just supporting each other in such a beautiful way. So I love to see it.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's really fantastic. Are there any rituals that you do on a regular basis to help keep the community alive and thriving?
Yeah, absolutely. We offer a weekly online networking meeting, no passport required. You can join us weekly. The women connect on our networking calls where they can actually see each other and they can go beyond just the name and picture on Facebook, just beyond the profile. So they connect and get to know the person behind the profile as well.
Are there any game changing ritual practices that really made a difference to help grow the community?
Any game-changing practices? We foster connections through the networking meetings, and that seems to be going really well. And I can't think of anything else that would be considered game changing that we're doing right now. I think a lot of people, not just the women in the community, but I can keep it just to the women in the community. They are, with the bloom or the blossom of AI, people are missing that one-on-one connection. So because we keep these networking meetings where they're able to kind of get that human connection, so to speak. They really enjoy it and they feel a sense of community in this female entrepreneur world. A lot of people are doing a 9 to 5 or in the corporate world. It's hard for them to relate to what we're doing. So having someone that you can, talk about business and life and they completely get it, I think they really appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you are working for someone, it's such a different mindset when you're fully in the driver's seat. I mean, it's a little bit scary, and it's nice to have people with the common mindset and understanding of what it takes from a day-to-day basis in order to stay motivated. Can you share, Kay, some of your ways as an entrepreneur that you stay motivated, that you stay aligned each day? Is there anything that you do that really helps you to keep that right energy, that right attitude?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a few things that I do.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur, it takes you for a spin. So, I meditate daily. I pray. I also sometimes when I'm working, I'm either listening to music that keeps me pumped up, or I'm listening to an audiobook. And one thing that I do that's really special to me is that I surround myself with other leaders who inspire me as well and keep me motivated and just support me from a genuine place. So these are just a few of the things that I do.
Yeah, I do a lot of those rituals as well, and it really does set you for success. And
Absolutely.
so thank you for that. And yeah, kindled spirits. If you could design women in alignment today from scratch, is there anything you would do differently?
What would I do differently? They say hindsight is 2020, but when I started Women in Alignment, I think I was just focused more so on the entity, Women in Alignment as an entity, and I wasn't really focused on my personal branding simultaneously. If I could start again, I would have built those simultaneously, progressed as well, because I'm not sure what might happen to Women in Alignment. I hope it's around for forever, but having a personal brand that can, go in any different direction, it gives you a bit more flexibility. But I do love my Women in Alignment, of course.
Great advice, great advice. And obviously building the community is about adding value in itself. How do you fund this community without eroding trust?
Yeah, absolutely. The how do I fund it? Really, it's the members that fund the community because we offer a premium membership that comes with a few perks. They invest in themselves, and that money is funds the Women in Alignment, just so we can deliver top quality to them as well. So I would say the women inside the community fund the community.
So, what are some of the benefits of being a premium member?
Yes, certainly. With a premium membership, that gives you priority visibility. Of course, in the community, you can share your content, but once you become a premium member, you have pre-approved access to posts inside the community. You can share promotional offers. You're spotlighted at our networking meeting. We have you featured on our website. We also offer press releases. There are quite a few things that we include in that, and also some business resources as well that they'll get access to that can help them on their journey.
Oh, those are great resources. You know, so if listeners want to learn more or become part of your community and all the great things you have to offer, can you share what they can do?
Yes, absolutely. If you're on Facebook, you can just go ahead and search Women in Alignment Business Networking Community. We do have some copycats, but if you see a group admin with my picture, Kay McKenzie, then you are in the right place.
Awesome. Yes, because I have gone on Facebook and I have seen your imposters. Sometimes the best compliment are people that are trying to copy you, but then you don't want to be caught up in the scams and the con artists there. So unfortunately, in this space, in the internet space, there's a lot of questionable characters, but Kay's Women in Alignment is not one of them. I can attest to that.
Yes, appreciate that. I'm never worried about copycats, for example, because Women in Alignment, it took me 3 years to get it where it is. Somebody who will just steal someone's work, they have no work, they don't have the similar work ethic as I do. So I'm not really worried or concerned. They can have it, but I know it's not going to be around for long. So good luck.
So how many hours do you put into building this community on a weekly basis?
Question a lot. Actually, when I worked for the company that I mentioned that I was furloughed from, I used to work 80 hours a week. So I'm probably doing more than that now with Women Alignment because it's mine and I'm very proud of it. And as mentioned, I have a vision that it's gonna live much longer after I'm gone. I would say maybe about 100 hours a week. I'm very
100
obsessive and
hours a week. Wow.
perhaps.
Wow. That's strong work ethics. Wow. 100 hours. I mean, that is more, I mean, a 35-hour week, you're doing almost 3 weeks in one. That's
And I'm
the,
fueled Red Bull here, so
yeah, yeah. Youth is on your side as well. So, so prosper with purpose. I have one final question. Prosper with purpose. What does that phrase mean to you? And what's one brave micro action our listeners can take today to move into alignment?
certainly prosper with purpose. When I think about that, I see success where that success impact others. So it's not just about enriching oneself, but also creating something that's impactful and have an effect on the people around you as well. And I do apologize. What was the second question?
Oh, the second one is a brave micro action our listeners can take today to move into alignment.
Absolutely. A brave thing that you can do to move into alignment is just to make a decision. If you have your vision already clear to you, just make a decision that you're going to commit to it and just stay focused and never let anything deter you from your vision or your dreams or your goal. There are things that are going to come up in life, but if you're fully focused and fully committed, then success is inevitable for you. So I would just say, just make a decision.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was part of, spark your vision. The next step to that was your vision in motion. And one of the things that you shared earlier too is prayer, meditation, connecting with women that are on the same path as you, all helps with that alignment. Is there anything else you would add to that than what you've already shared as far as keeping that alignment?
Keeping in alignment, I think it's great when you look at life like this. Like we're all here for a reason, a purpose. If there's no purpose for us to be here, then we wouldn't be here. And the actions that we take have impact on others. We might not be able to see it, but when you are a selfless person and you might not be motivated for you, be motivated for the people that you love and care about. And if you think like this is going to be a powerful motivator to keep you going. If you truly love these people. That's what inspires me. I have a lot of people that are relying on me, and I have no intentions of failing them. And while I might not be a materialistic person or, need the world's riches for them, I would do absolutely anything. And I know these people are similar to myself and they're going to create impact on other people as well. So I'm just here to play my role in the bigger picture of things.
Well, you're a really dynamic woman, and I'm so glad you've been a guest on Jump Into It. And I hope a lot of women, listeners out there, you can help inspire to follow that path as well. Thank you again for being a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Our next show will have another fabulous guest whose journey is sure to inspire you. You can listen to Jump Into Podcast on your favorite platform. We are on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, to name a few. To learn more, visit us at 360integralmarketing.com /jump into it. With the courage and knowledge to bring your ideas to life, be ready to jump into it. Thank you for listening.
At Jump Into It, we empower business owners, marketers, and entrepreneurs to turn their dreams into reality. Want to supercharge your marketing efforts? Join our expert-led training at 360integralmarketing.com and get practical tools you can use right away. Don't miss out. Get ready to jump into it.